Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us at the market site in Times Square, New York City, we have Deborah Fuhr. She is the founder and managing partner of ETFGI. We're going to take a look at how women in ETFs is celebrating International Women's Day and, of course, get an update on ETF volumes. It's great to have you back with us at market site. Women in ETFs, how are you celebrating International Women's Day?
So one of the things we've been doing for the past 6 years is we ring the bells for International Women's Days at stock exchanges. So 9 years ago, we rang 9 bells. This year, there are 96 exchanges that have signed up to do some type of event. Given the corona situation happening, a number are doing videos or virtual things, but we have 78 that are still holding events around the world. So it's pretty exciting. So we partner with UN Women, Global Compact, Sustainable Stock Exchange, the IFC, and World Federation of Exchanges. So the idea is to highlight the things that are being done and can be done to help women and equality and women empowerment.
And are you seeing a lot of growth there? Is it getting better as the industry evolves?
It definitely is. I mean, we're seeing that if you look at the Fearless Girl, the statue, 3 years ago that was put up. And since then, 681 companies have added a woman to their board. So you are seeing tangible changes both at the board level, within companies, gender pay gap, promotions. And Women in ETFs as an organization is 6 years old. And we're all about connect, support, inspire. So we're trying to help people increase their education, get involved in events, network, and help them in their career. So we do university outreach, we do mentorship, we have a speakers bureau to get more people to speak to the press that are women, as well as at conferences. You know, it's disappointing when you see half of the workforce is female, but yet when you go to panels, often it's 100% men, right? So
yeah, well, let's talk about ETF performance in the face of market volatility. It's been a real long time since we've seen the kind of moves, and probably it's even unprecedented with the velocity of the volatility.
Yeah, you know, it's a great question. And so it's surprising in some ways that we haven't seen more written about it. But ETFs have actually demonstrated that they do what they're supposed to do. So we've had 6 days when the S&P 500, the first ETF in the US, and I should say today is actually the 30th anniversary of the listing of the first ETF, which was in Canada. So it's our 30th anniversary. So 6 days where the S&P 500 ETF has traded over $60 billion. That is huge, never before. We've also had really high trading days in fixed income ETFs, and we've had significant outflows, all of which has happened exactly as they should. So ETFs, remember, most trading is secondary, so it's you and I trading existing shares as opposed to going and doing creations and redemptions. So they're doing what they're supposed to, and I think that's really a great story to be told.
Is there a relationship between the large movements that we're seeing in the underlying security and the ETF?
In most cases, no, because most of the trades, like 9 out of 10, are the existing shares of an ETF being bought and sold by different people. Right? So it's not going and touching the underlying. But what you do see, because if people are concerned about something, it will cause them, if there's a lot of price movement somewhere, they may decide that they want to sell, but someone else may want to buy. So we're seeing very high levels of trading. And in the month of February, we actually still saw 30 billion of net inflows going into ETFs. So people are still putting net money into ETFs, even though there's all this volatility happening.
All right, Deborah, great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us. And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.